Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to do a machine tour, show you which kind of machines we still have on the farm. It's not much. Most of them machines that we had were leased and they are no longer at the farm now. So we do have some machines. My father was a huge fan of the Welkers farm, and he had a couple of machines made to resemble those machines they have. Um, I will quickly do a tour about that. So this is the new yard. It's fairly new, but I will explain more about this in the next video where we do the farm tour. We'll quickly run to the machine hall. So like I said, that was a huge fan of the Welkers, and he had a few machines commissioned or changed a few of his own machines to look like their machines. It's not much, it's just a few. So obviously we will begin with the big brute, which he had commissioned. Um, I know the Welkers built theirs on a Case Tiger frame with the New Holland sprayer, but I have no idea uh, from which donor vehicles this one came. Dad contacted a machine shop and they built it for him. So I don't have much details. I don't know exactly how it resembles or what is different. Um, but yeah, so we have the big brute sprayer here. Then we also have two Case IH combines. I know that the Welkers family they have 8230 machines. We have a slightly newer model, the 8240. And some of you may have heard of the combine they call Beastbine with the huge LSW tires. So Dad decided that he wanted to try that as well. So you see here the combine with the huge tires. Um, we don't have the flags on the augers, but yeah, so those are the Case combines. We run them with 45-foot drapers. And I think they have a capacity of approximately 14,000 liter. So, yeah. And the last machine that he had built was this Kenworth. You're gonna say that the Welkers have an international. They do have an international 9370. But Dad found this Kenworth. I think it's a W900 and had it painted in the same colors as the 9370 from the Welkers. So that were the machines. He always dreamed of owning a big butt. That has not happened yet. But I do hope that once the farm is up and running, that I may yet make his dream come true. So I would definitely try to find a big butt for him. Besides those machines that he had built, he had a few different machines. Some were concepts, some were unique because they were pretty rare. One of those concept machines is this tree-bind harvester. It's basically it's a combine harvester with a grain cart attached to it. Um, as you can see, it has massive flotation tires. I believe it's a 650 engine, horsepower engine. I'm gonna see if I can fold it open. The straw is not ejected from the back like other combines, but from the side, like here. straw chopper inside. And this is the hopper, which has a capacity of, I believe, 35,000 liters. So that's more than double the size of a regular combine. So that should last us a while. Another machine that he bought was this Concept Fan 36, which is a six-wheel driven tractor with massive tires as well. I'm not sure if having 6 tires is better for compaction. Maybe it would be if it has crab steering, but I haven't driven this tractor myself yet. But we'll definitely get a good look at it. Yeah. So that's the Fen 36. I believe it's a 560 horsepower engine that this one has. So should be plenty of horsepower to pull all sorts of things. So next we have some root crop machinery. As you can see here, we have a Holmer T440, which is a root crop harvester that can be adapted to other types of root crops. We have several headers for this one. As you can see here, we have one for potatoes, we have one for sugar beets, we have one for onions, and we have one for carrots. The T440 has a bunker capacity of how much? I think 45,000 liters. Yeah, and we unload that one with this Holmer Terra Variant 595 with a root crop bunker on it. The root crop bunker itself is for 75,000 liters. And we also attach to this the Ropa Big Bear. There's also a root crop trailer, and this one has a capacity of 45,000. So together, combined together, they should be able to unload the harvester 3 times before it has to unload. So, as you know, root crops fill up the bunkers much faster than grain crops because they're so massive. So yeah, and then also we have a Krone Big X 1180 with a cargo bunker attached to it. For those who don't know this type, it's a bunker. This side of it will lift in the air and turn to the side so that the harvester can blow the chaff right into the bunker, and a tractor or trailer can pull underside the pipe is not the correct word, but the conveyor, and unload the bunker and drive away directly, but the harvester can keep on going. So this one has a capacity of 65,000 liters. And we chose for the Big X 1180 because it's by far the biggest and the most heaviest harvester that there is, because we have this huge header attached to it. Some people may think this is ridiculously huge, but it is actually a concept built by Kemper. It's Study 2020, and it's a 20-meter corn header. So this thing chops up a lot of corn in one pass, and that's why we took out the Krone Big X 1180, because it has a horsepower well over the thousands. So it will not be a luxury to have that much horsepower for such a huge header. So that was this haul. I have a few more machines over here. We have the Kuhlemon mother bin over here, which is a 200T model. This is a massive mother bin. It holds 247,000 liters. It's huge, and it's really a bitch to move around. Sorry for my language. It does have steering axles, but still, with this length, you're not going to make any tight corners, even with the steering axles. We bought this mother bin because when we merged the fields, we planned on harvesting with multiple harvesters at the same time. Also running a grain cart or a chaser bin, and that way we could just have the trailers load from the mother bin and drive away directly, not having to wait, no grain cart having to wait for a trailer to show up. 247,000 liters, which will be filled from this chaser bin, which is a 60T Kulamon. It holds 76,000 liters. It's a triple axle, but it will require a lot of horsepower to pull this. Fortunately, the ground is rather dry here. We don't have mud problems very often, so that should not really be a problem to pull as long as we do have horsepower. Maybe the 3.6 will be a good match for this. But yeah, with the 76,000 liter capacity, we can unload the case combines 5 times before we have to empty the chaser bin. So that's also maybe five harvesters on one field. If it's a large field, yeah, would be nice. Next up, we have this trailer over here, which is a Zakaria 4-axle trailer, custom built. It has a capacity of 60,000, yes. And I haven't driven it yet. I don't know how it handles. I believe it has steering axles, but I have yet to see it in action. But 60,000 liters is not a luxury, I think. Next up, we have over here. We have this Caterpillar 836K, which is a landfill compactor actually. We bought this used from a landfill in the area that closed down, and we use it to compact the chaff in the bunker. This was a very interesting machine because it was not too expensive. It does have quite some hours on it because it used to run every day, but now we only use it to compact the pit, so it only runs a few days a year. But with its 56 metric tons of weight, it's really good for compacting the silage pits, and then also this huge blade. This nice machine. Next up, we have the semi trucks over here. This one would be a Volvo 4-axle all-wheel drive. It has 900 horsepower, 950 horsepower, and we bought this one to pull a road train. We intended to put a BAB quad road train on it. Those trails were not yet purchased or anything. Also, why we wanted to work with road trains is because, well, we now have bigger fields, and then you have less going up and down from field to silo and from silo to customer. We would have to make fewer trips, saving a bit on fuel and labor hours. Then we have also Have the TMAN TGS, which is also a 4-axle all-wheel drive. Um, it's slightly less horsepower, but it's not much. It's 880 horsepower. Yeah, for this one we think we're gonna use a triple A road train. I think it's gonna be a good match, having at least 2 road trains. We'll have to see for buying trailers or leasing trailers for these. Next up, we have this MAN hook lift truck with a service container attached to it. It's a container with tools and various common spare parts in it. Then we also have a water tank and a compressor. Compressor. I think there's. I'm not sure. I think there's also a pressure washer on it. I'm not sure. It may be broken. And then attached to that we have this fuel tank, which, refueling. We bought this because this would allow us to drive the truck towards the field where we are using the harvesters, and that way we can refuel and do small maintenance or small repairs directly in the field without having to run back to the shop or whatever. So we have some basic hydraulic lines and most common fittings for those, and some other various parts, like fuel filters, cleaning material, etc. Then there's a last piece of machinery that my dad purchased before he passed away. It was a few months before he passed away that he bought this. So it's still on the truck. It's not yet unloaded. He bought a versatile 1080 with the nickname Big Roy. That's a 4-axle all-wheel drive tractor with a 600 horsepower engine in it. And as you can see, it's not yet unloaded. It's still on the truck that he used to haul it here. So we will have to check what we need to do to it to make it operational. So that's about it for machinery that we have still here on the farm. Like I said, we will need to buy or lease a lot of machinery like trailers to hold the grain and everything, and afterwards also the cultivators and seeders. Sprayer we do have, but a fertilizer spreader and some various other things. Then there's 2 more that we have on the farm, which is our dad's truck. This is a Chevy Duramax 6.6 liter diesel. It's been lifted and put some heavy off-road tires on it. That used to drive it up and down the fields to inspect several things. And then we have this toy over here, which was my Chevy Blazer. I used it to go off-roading, and I thought about getting rid of it, but in the end it's nostalgia. I might take it out for a spin over the fields or whatever. It was always fun to drive. So that's about it for equipment. I'm sure in the future we will be able to show you many more new machinery. Yeah, that's about it. So take care. See you next time.